upwards mobility inside the United States dead? We're not seeing that no more. Is that true? Is that a rumor? We're gonna talk about it because I'm getting emails sent like this. The US is 27th down on the list of social mobility by country as a score. Very poorly. The average person can't get ahead here at all, as you keep falsely claiming. So, and then there's a list basically done by this study, and it says Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Iceland, Netherlands, Switzerland, and they're saying that there's more upwards mobility in those countries than inside the United States. And when you have a mindset like that, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, you will never ever make more than $80,000. And it is so important that you take a step back from wherever you're at and think about like, how can I reach my desired life? How can I reach my desired goal? How can I do what I want to do with my life? Maybe it is move to Asia and live super inexpensively, or maybe it is making 6-7 figures and start your own business and be your own boss and have a boat, have a yacht, and just kind of do it all. Is it still possible? I still think so, but we're gonna watch a video here of a woman absolutely struggling. So let's watch this video and see what she has to say about all this.
I don't know who's out here living the American dream, but I can tell you one person who isn't, and that's me. I have 4 kids and I'm working 3 jobs and I'm still struggling. My full-time job, I'm a 911 dispatcher. My other 2 jobs, a waitress. The American dream should not be this hard. I should not have to be working my life away, being away from my kids. You know, sometimes I have to pick. Am I going to pay my electric bill or am I going to buy groceries? Because my kids need to eat. This is not the American dream. I'm so tired of struggling. You know, so many people are going to work, working multiple jobs just to pay for a house to sleep in, just to put their head down at night. This is not the American dream, not my American dream. That's why I started posting here on TikTok. So hopefully I can slow down some so I can spend time with my kids. Life shouldn't be this hard. I know one person that's making 6 figures and they're still struggling. Why's it gotta be so hard? Anyways, if you want to help this mama out from struggling, you know what to do. I'm headed into work to work at Buffalo Wild Wings today. I have to work a double, say a prayer, I make some money.
Okay, so with the words of Theodore Roosevelt, nothing worth having comes easy. And now, since you're a believer in fate, here's another quote for you. God doesn't give the hardest battles to its toughest soldier. He creates the toughest soldier through life's hardest battle. So when I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm seeing her freaking out and I see people like, I got 3 jobs, take a step back, realize where you want to go, and try to become the top 1% in your craft, in your trades, in your field. And we're going to go over that in a little bit because I got an article right here that basically says she's a former 911 dispatcher who started a side hustle dominated by men. So she basically went into the trades and she's making $4,500 a month and it paid off. So I looked at how much does a 911 dispatcher make for these people. I don't know where she's at. For people that are not inside the United States, she makes about $22 an hour. And the average pay is about $22.30 and it ranges from $18 to $28. And now when I'm looking at it, it's like, ooh, you're a dispatcher, you're good on calls, you're probably pretty decent at it. Let's see how we can make 6+ figures. And when you're looking at that, it's like, ooh, how can I make 6+ figures? Let's get into an FAA air traffic controller. The salary ranges over $160,000 annually, with entry-level salary starting at $46,000 after the academy training. So as you're seeing that, it's like, okay, they'll train you and it's going to be $46,000. Early career and it's $160,000, and top level, highly experienced controller can earn up to $225,000. So you're seeing there is upwards mobility if you choose your life right. And now let's look at what it says. Oh, here we go. Salary differ based on location of the facility. So location is key. You gotta move to an area that has those high paying salaries. So if you haven't, please like and subscribe. I make content like this all the time. So now let's look at how many Americans are actually willing to move. And recent study found few Americans actually relocate for work, with quarterly job related moving listings only 1 to 2%. So a lot of Americans don't want to move. And when I couldn't find the exact numbers because people said, oh, it's too expensive to move, it's costly, I don't want to move. But when you're thinking about it, it's like, okay, if I want to move and I can be in the top 1%, you have to do what the 1% does, and that is probably to move. And I'm looking at the statistics that Tom sent me that are crazy when you're thinking about it, because how they look at it was like health and the whole kinds of other stuff. When you're looking at that and you're like, okay, the United States is like number 27. Nowhere in the world can you make it as good as in the United States. I believe so, or I wouldn't be here. This is literally the proof. I now live in $1 million house. I own rental properties, and I used to live in a mobile home. So take it from me. All it takes is you dream about, or whatever you do, you manifest. You create your vision board and you say, this is where I want to go. And then you back engineer it. And it's going to be hard when you have 4 kids and you can't focus everything towards your life goals. And then you're like, okay, I have 4 kids. It's going to be kind of difficult for me now. But when you're in your 20s, you couldn't have caught me in a nightclub, in a bar. I didn't know what a bar or a nightclub looked like inside the United States, because I was focused on networking, building wealth, and kind of building my business and doing all kinds of other stuff. You didn't catch me out drinking with friends, racking up $100+ tabs and just being out and about. No, I was at home because I knew the next day I had to get up early to repeat and to build and to redo and learn and keep on repeating. So once you're there and you're like, okay, I got my vision board, I got that, you can then design your life and say, okay, how can I do it? How do I go where I want to go? And you have AI now. AI is like a great advocate for you. And you say, hey, look at, this is where I want to go. Help me out. And having 3 jobs, nobody should have 3 jobs. But it's going to take you time to get out of that $20, $30 an hour jobs to then make 6 figures plus. And you saw air traffic controller is going to take you studying, maybe moving and doing all kinds of stuff that I call extracurricular activities, where you gotta have to go above and beyond to then have the life that a lot of people want, but not a lot of people want to do the hard work for. And this is what it's all about in the United States. You have to put in the hard work. You have to put in the time it takes to do it. Nothing comes easy. Everything is hard. Everything is blood, sweat, and tears. But here, it will pay off. I'm telling you. And once you can do it here, I mean, man, it is just amazing. And I've been keep telling you guys this, where this is the most amazing place in the world where you can achieve anything you desire and you can still do it. It's harder than it used to be, but it's still achievable. And I think you can still do it. And if you're watching this and you're like, I don't think I can. I don't think you can. You got to listen to some audiobooks, listen to some motivational talks on YouTube. And once you've done that, you can then be like, okay, you know what? It is actually doable. Atomic Habits, 48 Laws of Power. Read the 50 Laws of Power of how to turn fear into a superpower and start doing the stuff that nobody else is doing so that you can then make 6 figures plus. And I know the job market sucks, and I know that, oh, my area's kind of dead. Then move. Then take your stuff, take your belongings, and see if you can relocate to a city like Vegas, like LA, like New York, or Boston, or something that has, or Dallas, or something else where it has upwards mobility, where you can say, you know what, I'm gonna take what I got, I'm gonna take my skill, I'm gonna work on it, and I'm gonna start reflecting on myself. And the problem is that I see with a lot of Americans is that when they don't want to reflect, they don't want to change themselves. They're like, I've been like this forever, so why change now? Because you want that higher salary, you want that nicer stuff, you want that nicer car. And it's going to require hard work. It's going to require you to do stuff that's uncomfortable, that is painful, late nights and everything else. So be aware that all the nice and shiny stuff, if you're not born into it, it's going to be hard. It's going to be like pulling teeth when you ever had teeth pulled at the dentist. And it's painful and it's going to take time. And afterwards, you're going to feel great though. Once you got it, once you're in that dealership and you can drive that BMW off the lot, and you know what? This payment isn't even 1% of my take-home salary, so I'm not even going to worry about it. And I have now a huge savings account. I have a nice house. I've did it all. It's still doable, but you gotta put in the work. And this is what I keep telling people: you gotta put in the work. You gotta think about it in a way of, hey, when I'm up here and I want to go way up here, how do I do that? How do I become that? And I'm telling you, from where I lived in Switzerland, I lived in Zurich, so it's one of the biggest cities there, and upwards mobility there is so bloody difficult. I'm telling you, if you want to go there, people aren't willing to share. People aren't willing to help you. People aren't willing to give you any information. No, everything that you're going to be doing there is going to be 10 times harder than it is inside the United States. So if you think you can't do it in the United States, I don't think you can do it anywhere else. Because here, people are willing to give you chances. People are willing to give you opportunities. And I see it all the time. People that didn't make any money, then all of a sudden you can do it. But you gotta do the right thing. And this is what I always tell people. You gotta read some books. And I'm seeming like a broken record when I tell you gotta read some books. You gotta educate yourself. You gotta do better. You gotta listen to it. But when you have opinions like Tom's, where it's like you're telling false lies, if you're in that negative spiral, Atomic Habit talks about that. And it wouldn't surprise me if you never made more than $80,000, because when you're thinking about it like that and you write emails saying, the average person can't make more than 80 grand. No, the average person can still do it, but it's never gonna come easy, and it's never gonna be without pain or suffering. You gotta do it. And if it is staying up late night, studying about college, or moving back home, of getting your degree, or doing all kinds of other stuff, or learning about AI and doing all kinds of stuff, that comes at a cost of your time, of your energy, and everything. So you gotta do the right thing. You gotta do what nobody else is doing to go to where nobody else is, and to reach that next level of career, to reach that next level of success, or the next level of independence or freedom that you want to do. But this is just one story out of many, and I think you can still do it. I think everybody can still do it. You just got to be willing to take the risk and then try and do it. And people are like, I don't want to risk this, or I don't want to risk that. So yeah, you got to be willing to risk it. You got to be willing to take on that risk, to make sure that you're gonna succeed in life. But as I said, when I tell you guys, and I go on these walks, and I'm trying to motivate you guys to go and do better, and I go and I tell you, you can still do it, or maybe not so much, and then I see other people do it. There's other people that are dying to come here, that are dying to take a glimpse at the American dream, that are dying to just kind of get a shot at it, that would do anything. You see it at the southern border, that would just die to experience the opportunities. And then I see people like, I'm so in the rut, I can't do it. Or they're like, I can't, I'm feeling so down right now. Get yourself up, whatever it takes, and cut the devil's lettuce, cut the drinking, and start saying, you know what, maybe I should go sober for a little while. That's what I did. And I've not been drinking, I've not been doing anything else. You just work. You just put your head down, you get your skill set ready, you get all that stuff going. And once you've done that, you can then really, really power strap you with a rocket. But it's gonna take you, and it's gonna be uncomfortable. You gotta do the stuff that nobody else wants to do. And this is what I think American struggles. And just because I pointed out to you guys and say, this is how Americans, a lot of them are, this isn't something that's bad or negative. This is just what it is. When I say people that are struggling and they need to cut the devil's lettuce, they got to cut drinking, this isn't criticism to them. It's just, hey, if you want to do this stuff that's going to slingshot you to success, this is what it's most likely going to take. So you have a clear mind, so you can think sharply, because once you're in the business world, there's other people that want to get a slice of your pie. And so what you do, you got to cut the stuff that isn't good for you. And it's preservatives also, and it's fast food and everything else. And it's sodas and everything else where they're just not that great for you. So start doing that, and all of a sudden you start feeling good in the morning. You're waking up earlier, you have a clearer mind, and then you're like, oh, now I got it. Now I got it. And now I'm starting to see I'm feeling better. Now let's go on a 15, 20-minute walk every day. Let's go work out a little bit or do something. And then you're seeing like, I know what Rico's talking about. He just wants me to do better. And this is what it literally comes down to when I'm seeing these people online saying, oh, there's no upwards mobility, there's nothing. And whenever I make these videos, I always tell people, don't fight the system. You and I are not that big where we can fight the system and we can stick it to the corporation. No, we're too small. I bet you all of our net worth of my viewers wouldn't put a dent in lobbying for something, because there's billion-dollar corporations that can outspend us easily. But what you can do is you can look at it and stop being so mad about who's in the White House or doing or anything else, and you can say, you know what, it is what it is. Let me look at how I can work in my environment, right? So it is like when it's raining, you bring an umbrella. And then after it's the sunshine, you wear sunscreen. It's just like that. One time it's raining, the other time you need sunscreen. And that's just how it is. And hey, when it rains, there's gonna be mud afterwards, right? And when there's so much sun, you might get sunburn afterwards. So, and stuff will dry from the heat. So it's like, doesn't matter who it is, just make sure that your surrounding and your world is perfect for how you want it to be. And stop complaining about, oh, this wasn't in the White House. Oh, this isn't good for me, or this isn't good. Just put your head down and see how you can maneuver within your boundaries, within your field, and use it to your advantage. That's all I'm always saying. Is like, it doesn't matter, because you and I are not market makers or market movers. All that we need to do is see, how do we maneuver in our world? How do I maneuver? How do I place my family's best with the current environment? And once you're starting to do that, you're just going to be set up for the races, and you're going to be doing good. Because here in the US, if you reach third, fourth place, you're still better off than most people. So yeah, this was it. Let me know what you guys think about all this upwards mobility stuff. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one.